everyone, Karen here, and welcome to Basic Layout number 2. Now, as the Basic Layout number 1, this also will be a 5x7 card front, but instead of doing it as a Z-fold card, this time we're going to make it into an easel card. So to do that, you're going to need a solid, and this time I picked white because I am going to make a white card base that is 5x7, and this paper does have a little bit of shine to it, and you'll see why in a minute. So then I have a solid 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, which is going to go on top of that. And then I have a print, which is 4 1/2 by 6, which has this very shiny metal in it. So that's why I picked the shimmer card for the card base to kind of go along with that. And this we're going to slice into 1-inch strips and put on the front here. Now for the easel part, I have a 5 by 3 1/2 and a 4 3/4 by 3 1/4 that I'm going to stamp on. Now for the topper on the front of this card, I chose this wavy kind of circle. Now you can pick any kind of circle, oval, square that you want. The biggest one here is about 4 inches across, and then I just took the next nesting die down. I do have a happy birthday from my stash, and that was this one here. And I already have that cut out. And this is the set of nesting dies that I did use. And I do have some little embellishments. These are my little daisies. And I have a bag so I can put more in the bottom of the card. And for the card base itself, to make the easel, you're going to need a piece of 5 by 11. And we're going to score this as we go along. I do have a stamp to put on the front. It reads, "As you celebrate your birthday, warmest wishes go your way for all that makes you happy on this very special day." So that's what's going to go on the stopper. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is get the base set. So let me grab my scoreboard. Now this is the 11 by 5. And this is where we're headed. We're going to fold this at 7, and then we're going to fold the little 1/2 inch, and this is going to make the easel that the 5 by 7 is going to attach itself to. So we are going to score along the 11-inch side at 7 and at 10 1/2. And that's it. And this will get folded down. And we'll fold this back. And I'm going to fold the little 1/2 inch flap in both directions to get it nice and loose. And there we go. And now our 5 by 7 will get glued to this here. So that's it for the base. So let's talk about the front now. So we have our 5 by 7 shiny paper and our 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and those are going to get glued together. So just use your favorite glue. And this will go in the center. Just like that. Now let me erase this, because most of this will be covered, but it may not be. So let me get rid of that. Alright, so now let's talk about this 4 1/2 by 6. Now I need to cut this in 1-inch strips. So let me bring in my trimmer. So along the 6-inch side, I'm going to cut 1-inch strips. So I'm going to bring it up to 5 and cut a strip. Then go down to 4. Make sure that's lined up nice and straight. Now we'll go to 3. And you'll see I like to put my fingernail in the little valley there, just to make sure I lined it up nice and straight. Now we'll go to 2 inches, and we'll cut it 1 inch. Make sure we're straight here. There we go. And there. All right, so now we have our strips. All right, so let's bring in what we've already glued together. Now remember, this one was 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. So these strips will come down here. Like this. Now there will be a little bit of space in between them. They will be like this. Now you have 2 choices here. You can either glue this down flat if you are going to be mailing this and you don't want a lot of thickness, or you can put it up on foam. Now I'm going to choose to put it up on 1/16 foam because it's not that thick, and just to show you what it would look like. So I'm going to start putting foam on the back of each of these strips like this. Then once I get them all lined up where I want them to be, I'll peel the backing paper off. Oops, let's pull that off. I wrinkled the paper a little bit. There we go. All right, third one. There we go. There's number 4. Number 5, and the last one. All right. Now I want to look at these for a second and make sure I'm happy with the order they're in, because I don't think I was paying that much attention when I cut them. That will be fine. Now when I sized this, I sized it to be to where the sides and the top and bottom would be the same. So I'm going to start by lining up this one, and I think I'm going to turn it sideways so I can see it a little bit better. And I also think I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on the bottom of this, so it will give me a moment to get this straight, just in case I'm not happy with the placement. Alright, so I'm going to look at the sides and the bottom, and that looks pretty lined up. So I'm going to lay this one down. Now I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. And we'll work my way to the middle. Put some glue. I will look at the sides and the bottom. That looks pretty good. And we'll put that down. So now I have 4 more strips. So I'm going to kind of lay these here. See how much space I need in between. I think I'll do the 2 in the middle first. I should say next. And I'm going to keep putting glue on them just to make sure I have a little wiggle room. Make sure I have this on here to where the 2 sides are the same. And now this one. Glue. And put this on. Now I want to kind of look where this one's going to be. And this one will be here. like that. Now I'll do this one. And we'll center this one. So I'm going to turn this sideways and lay this like this. And that leaves one left. Take this one, a little bit of glue. Now you don't have to put the glue on there. It's just if you're not completely confident, you can put the glue on. That way it won't stick right away and you can pull it off a little easier. And there we go. And that gives you this nice little raised platform. It's not too raised, but it does have enough height on it. And that metallic is like really cool. So let me show you this paper pad before I forget. So it came from this paper pad that I got at Michael's. Now, you want to look at Michael's periodically because they run these special editions. And the last time they ran the special editions, they were $5 a piece. And there's 48 sheets in here. And these are nice, thick paper. I'm going to say they're probably at least 200 GSM. But they're really nice papers. There's even some toppers in here. But yeah, but definitely look at Michael's because they do have these periodically for $5. You can't beat that. All right, let me get my papers out of the way. All right, so now it's time to construct the topper. So these are going to be together like this, and it's going to go on here. Now, I think what I want to do, because I already have 1/16 here, and I don't want to make this too tall. So I'm going to glue the white one, and this is the same shimmery paper that is in the background here. And I am going to line this up like that. Now, let me bring in my happy birthday. So we have happy and birthday. Now we're going to go on here like this. Because when I put this on, I'm not going to put it on straight up and down like this. I'm going to put it at a little bit of an angle to where the bottom part of the wave here is more toward the top of the card. So I am going to put this on here. And I did actually keep track of the little dot for the eye, but I still may use a gem. Now when you have something this skinny like this, if you have a Xyron, you absolutely could use that. Run the paper through the Xyron first if you want, and then die cut it out. That sometimes makes it a little easier. Or just do what I'm doing here and just kind of dab it on. Either way, get the job done. So we'll put the happy on here. Let me take the birthday. And we'll put some glue on here. Make sure we get the little stick here. And this happy birthday is just something I've had in my stash for a long time. I'm sure you have a happy birthday. Or if you want to make this a thank you card, or really anything else. Whatever kind of wording you have, whatever you need. Dab this a little bit. All right. And we'll put this down. Like that. Let me put a little dot for the eye. I'm going to pick up my little eye here. Keeps wanting to go upside down. And we'll put that down. There we go. So we have happy birthday. So you don't always have to use black for your lettering. Absolutely. Try some color. All right, so now this will go on here. Oh, let me put the flowers on here first. Let me put my little daisies on here. So I'm thinking I'm going to put 3 on the front here. I think right here and 1 right here. Put some tacky glue down. Now these daisies are something that I do. There are some embellishments I've been playing around with, and you'll see them soon in my Etsy store. Here's that one. I've been working on all kinds of shapes, and very soon I'll have a whole year's worth of seasonal little embellishments. There we go. There's little 3 daisies. Now in the back of this, I want to put some foam, because I do want to put a little bit of height between this and my pattern paper there. So I'll put that in the middle. One piece here, and one piece here. Bring this down. And I'm going to turn this way. Alright, so I'm going to put it in the middle of the card. So I have one strip on either side. Kind of line it up in the middle. That looks good right there. Alright, now there is our basic card front, 5x7, with a nesting die in the middle that is circular, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1-inch strips. And that is something, depending on your pattern paper, you absolutely could turn this into anything. Graduation card, pretty much anything. Alright, now the first one was a Z-fold card, where we had the basic 5x7. You absolutely could do that with this one. But this time, we're going to make an easel card. Now I'm going to fold this down. I'm going to give this another quick fold. And I'm going to lay the flap straight. I'm going to put some glue along the flap, that little 1/2 inch flap that we made. And we scored it at 10.5. Now I'm going to lay this on top. Now because these are both 5x7, I can just hold them with my hands, make sure we're all lined up, make sure we're all connected here in the middle, give it a minute to grab. Now when we open it, give it a few more seconds here, gingerly, because it is still wet. There's your easel. So on the side, you only have to attach that 1/2 inch. Now, the secret to this is you want that first score line halfway down your card. Now, because this is a 7-inch tall card, I went 3.5 more inches to 10.5, and that's where I put this second fold. So if you do a different size card, your first score line will go the length of your card, and then whatever half of that is where you put your second score line. And then this flap can be as long or short as you need it to be, depending on what size paper you're using. But it's that easy. Any size card front you can make into an easel card. Now for the inside of this, I have the 5 by 3.5 and a white 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. Now I'm going to stamp on the 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. So let me put this to the side and give that a minute to dry. And here's my stamp. Here's my stamping platform. Move some things out of the way here. Alright, we will lay this down. We will center this like that. Let me grab my ink. Alright, put my trash away. Open this up. Stampy stampy. Get it nice and inky. And here we go. Probably have to do these 2 times. There we go. And we'll do it one more time. And press down. Give it a little bit of a rub maybe. The makes is a little light, so I'm going to come down the middle again. There we go. That's better. All right, that is done. We'll pick this up. All right, now this will come on here like this. This will be up like this, like this. I think what I want to do is put this down on the bottom so the card will stand upright like this. So I'm trying to decide if this needs anything more, because there's no black in this card except for the writing. So let's see. Nope, I think we'll leave it just like that. So I think what I want to do is I want to put 1 row of the 1/16 foam. There we go. And we'll put this on the 5 by 3.5. Go in the center. And then I will put another row of the 1/16 on the back here. There's 1. There's 2. There we go. Maybe one more piece over here. Paper off the back. Now this is the only part that does have to be raised, and I definitely would suggest 1/8 of an inch thickness. And you can either split it like I did here, or put it with one thicker piece of foam. But if you're worried about the thickness, you absolutely could make the front completely flat. So this I'm going to line up with the bottom part of the card. So now our card stands up like this. There we go. Now I'm going to take a few more of the daisies and put them on the bottom here. If they want to cooperate. So let's see, where do I want to put them? I think like that. So we'll put one here. And this is just tacky glue. I'm using to hold them down. And it holds just fine. There we go. And we are all finished. So we still have a 5 by 7 front like I did on basic layout number 1, where we had 3 circles, and this could be any shape out of the side, and we made it a Z-fold. And then we also, this time we took the 5 by 7 card front and turned it into an easel card, just like that. So I hope you enjoyed this card. If you did, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and consider subscribing to my channel. And until next time, stay crafty. Karen Create.